Yo, what's up? I'm gonna talk to you about a beef that started last season between Giannis Antetokounmpo versus James Harden. Now, James Harden recently clapped back at Giannis, but let's go back to how all this originally started. Um, Back when these two guys were competing for the MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo ended up winning the MVP. Now, this made James Harden extremely jealous. I guess I would say extremely jealous, but he was pissed off that he didn't get the MVP. You see, he went all over media, on social media, on TV, just basically upset that he didn't win the MVP. Now, this um, got back to Giannis. So once Giannis caught hold of all of this, his reaction was, okay, you know, this guy's in his feelings because I won MVP and he didn't. I deserved it, and it is what it is. Um, James Harden felt like he was robbed, basically, like the MVP was his. Um, so a couple of months, as these two guys was going back and forth, you could tell on the court when the two teams played against each other that they they had a little animosity towards each other because they were steep dissing each other going back and forth. Now Giannis united this beef even more by saying on TNT when they were picking the All Stars for the team, Giannis said um, something to the degree of, "I don't want James Harden on my team because I want a player that will pass the ball." So basically, this is throwing a jab at James Harden, saying that he doesn't pass the ball, he's this and that, he's a ball hog. Basically, is what he's stating. So James Harden clapped back, and this is what James Harden had to say.
Air about I want to take someone who can pass. I'm taking Kemba Walker instead of James Harden.
I average more assists than him, I think. I don't see what the joke is, but I didn't even see it, and I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I just know none of them can mess with me. But I wish I could just run, and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill. You know, I take that any day.
Okay, so now, as you've seen in that video, in that clip I just showed you, James Harden clapped back at him. Okay, he said, um, you know, Giannis has no skill. All he could do is basically dunk. And what I do is way more harder. I'm a better player. Other players can't touch me. This, that, and the third. Now, if I'm going to compare these two, I think James Harden right now is out of the MVP race. I think it's between Giannis and probably LeBron, really. The last two guys for the MVP. Kawhi kind of tucked himself out of the mix. Um, but it's between Giannis and LeBron, so to speak, for the MVP this year. Now, James Harden, you can't get mad at James Harden for clapping back at Giannis because Giannis seems to unite this beef a little more further than what James Harden was doing. But it all really stemmed from James Harden getting upset because he didn't win the MVP last season. And Giannis is a very competitive guy, and he's showing to you that he doesn't mind going at a guy like James Harden. Um, I think Giannis is a better basketball player than James Harden, even though he dunks most of the time and just gets to the rim and has explosive dunks. Um, Keep in mind, dunking is a skill. It requires a lot of effort to dunk a basketball. Not everybody could just drive to the basket and dunk a ball. You have to have some form of talent to dunk a basketball or to get past your defender and dunk a basketball. This guy could take like 6 steps. I didn't mean 6 steps in traveling. I mean 6 steps in, you know, long strides to get to the basket. So, um, I do think James Harden is clapping back because I mean he's tired of being disrespectful. But what he did just now was savage. He went at Giannis, and I love it. I love the competitive nature of two players going at each other. I hope these two guys met in the playoffs, but in order for these two guys to meet in the playoffs, they have to both go to the finals. But man, I love that old school basketball where two guys don't like each other and they're just going at each other. And you could tell these two guys don't like each other. This is another player that James Harden is having a beef with. He had beef with Chris Paul. That probably settled down right now. But you could tell that him and Giannis is the next big beef that's going to go down. Um, so I can't wait to see these two guys play. I think they still play within a couple of games left over in the season. So definitely be on the lookout for that. That should be something very interesting to break down and see. So yeah. Also, I got um, more stuff coming on the way. I'm gonna do a little because it's like 90 days into the playoffs coming. So I'm about to do a little sneak preview of what the playoffs will look like if they started today and what teams will win. That's coming up later, probably tomorrow or whatever. But I just wanted to get this little beef with Giannis versus the James Harden. It's the beard versus the Greek freak, a mano on a mano, two guys going at each other. Um, I'm rooting for Giannis on this one. Just for the simple fact, I like him better as a basketball player, and he's more entertaining to watch than James Harden to me. Um, it's just what it is, what it is. But at the end of the day, I don't care what guy wins. I just want to see two good basketball players go at each other, and I hope they actually guard each other. Don't talk it, be about it, and let's see two of those guys go up against each other. Peace.